This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 8 and verse 11. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. All praises, honors, and glories be unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, QADASH. Double honors to my elders and my apostles, Great Milestone, that do indeed well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect, the afflicted, and 1/3. SHALALYAM. This is Brother Dawadah, come back at you with another video through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. And today I want to do a video entitled, Is Reincarnation Biblical? We're going to get directly into it, and now to our RAWCHAA, this will be edifying. So, reincarnation, is it biblical? The simple answer is, of course it is. You can't understand this Bible unless you understand reincarnation. There's many different scriptures that speaks about reincarnation. All right, I'm just going to hit a few. So let's start off in the book of Ecclesiastes, the Old Testament, which is written by Solomon, the first chapter, in verse 9. The thing that have been is that which shall be. What is the thing that's referring to? The spirit. And it says, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. That includes your spirit. It's the same spirits coming back, all right, fulfilling their lot. That's why they say history repeats itself. Well, you know why? It's the same individuals coming back, doing the same things that they did back then, all right? Something called reincarnation. Reincarnation, re meaning back, all right? In, going back to the Latin, meaning into, and then carnation, going back to the Latin caro or carn, meaning flesh, back in or into the flesh. What comes back into the flesh? The spirit. The same old spirit, but in a new body. Back in the flesh. Reincarnation. What has come back in the flesh? That spirit. It's come back within another flesh. You have to say, oh, it's a newborn baby. No such thing as a this newborn baby, as in it's a totally new baby and a new spirit. No, it's the same spirit coming back that just has been given a new body. Reincarnation, back in the flesh. All right? It says, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new. Yeah. It hath been already of old time, which was before us. Yeah, meaning in the past. All right? These bodies are simply a house for our spirits. All right, a newborn is only the only thing new on a newborn is the body. The spirit of that child, that baby, isn't new. It's been here before. All right, reincarnation. All right, back in the flesh. All right, there is no remembrance of former things. Yeah, so each time you come back on this planet, you don't remember your past lives. The Most High blocks that off. Neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. There is indeed a thing called reincarnation. Now, let's go from there to the book of, I believe it's in Samuel. This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 7, and let's hit the point, verse 14. It says, well, I'll start at 8. Now therefore, so shalt thou say unto my servant David. This is talking about King David, right? Thus saith the Lord, YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI of hosts, I took thee from the sheepcote, because David tended to the sheep when he was little, when he was young, from following the sheep to be ruler over my people, over Israel. So that shows you the people of the Lord are the Israelites. Now let me hop down. It says, and when verse 12, and when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, meaning he was going to die, all right, when he was going to die or about to die, I will set up thy seed after thee, which is whom? Solomon, which shall proceed out of thy bowels. Yeah, Solomon, that's what it was referring to, the son of David. All right, which Solomon, all right, was the son of David through Bathsheba, which was the wife of Uriah the Hittite, which he was an Israelite that was just dwelling in that land. It says, and I will establish his kingdom. Yeah, talking about Solomon's kingdom. All right. He shall build an house for my name, which he did that. All right. And I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Wait a minute. Solomon didn't rule forever. Solomon only had what? 40 years of peace. All right. But he didn't rule forever. Solomon isn't currently ruling on this planet Earth right now. But let's hop from there to the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter. Daniel, the 7th chapter. Daniel 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, that's the Most High, whose garment was white as snow. He had a white garment on, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. He had a white woolly beard and white woolly hair. All right. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire, talking about the chariots. A fiery stream issued, it came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, talking about the angels, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him, referring to the angels. The judgment was sent, and the books were opened. Yeah. When the prophecies written of within these scriptures are speaking, all right, they've been unleashed. Now let's hop down to verse 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man, which is whom? YAHAWASHI. All right? YAHAWASHI, when you read throughout the Gospels, is referred to as whom? Son of Man. Ba-Nadama, son of the ground. All right? Which that proves that he's a so-called black man. Because what color is the deep, rich soil of the ground? Deep, dark brown. All right? So now, let's go back to Daniel 7. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man, that's YAHAWASHI, came with the clouds of heaven, that's the so-called UFOs, and came to the Ancient of Days. Who's the Ancient of Days? The Most High, Yahweh, the same individual, the same one, the same great entity that we read about in the book of Daniel 7 and verse 9. All right? That's whom the Ancient of Days is, the Most High, Yahweh. That's his name. It says, it came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. Who are they? The angels brought him, YAHAWASHI, near before him, near before the Most High, near before the throne of the Most High. And there was given him, given whom? YAHAWASHI, the Son of the Most High, dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Wait a minute. So he's going to have an everlasting kingdom? His kingdom is going to be established forever? Let's hop down to verse 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, the Israelites, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Wait a minute. 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 12. And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels. And I will establish his kingdom. Wait a minute now. Ain't that what we read about? You know? Which, yeah, you did have Solomon's kingdom, but Solomon was going to come back again. And when he came back again, what's going to happen? He was going to have an everlasting kingdom. He shall build an house for my name, which Solomon did that, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. That didn't happen during the time of King Solomon. That was promised to our Lord YAHAWASHI, same as what we read in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter. That he will have an everlasting dominion, that his kingdom will be that which shall never be destroyed. That's talking about YAHAWASHI, the Son of the Most High. All right? Solomon isn't still ruling, but he's going to come back and rule. He only had 40 years of great peace, which was a great rulership. All right? But then what ended up happening? You had the split. All right? So on and so forth. So Solomon isn't still ruling. Solomon ended up dying. It said that his kingdom was going to last forever. The only one who was promised that is YAHAWASHI. All right? it says, I will be his father. Who is the only begotten of the Most High? YAHAWASHI. How do we prove that? Let's go to the book of Colossians. Let's go to the book of Colossians, chapter 1 and verse 13. Who hath delivered us, let me start at 12, giving thanks unto the Father, which his name is Yahweh, which hath made us meet to be partakers of his inheritance of the saints in light, who hath delivered us from the power of darkness, and hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. You see, his dear Son. All right. In whom we have redemption. Redemption, to redeem, means to buy back. Through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. Isaiah the 53rd chapter. Who is the image of the invisible power. Yahawashi, he looks just like the Most High. That's why Yahawashi told Philip. Philip said, we desire to see the Father. And Yahawashi told him, hast thou been so long with me that thou hast not known? He who has seen me has seen the Father. Why then dost thou ask me, show me the Father? Roughly paraphrasing the scripture. So Yahawashi looks just like the Most High. One of the titles of Yahawashi was Son of the Ground. All right, which is rather Son of Man, which means Son of the Ground. Ban Adama. What color is the ground? Deep dark brown. The deep rich soil of the ground. That shows you that the so-called that the Most High and the Most High's Son are so-called black men. All right. The first, it says, who is the image of the invisible power? The firstborn of every creature. Yahawashi is the only begotten of the Most High. You see? Now let me hop down, or rather let me hop back to, wow. Another scripture just came to mind. Let's jump from there to the book of St. Matthew, chapter 17, and verse 5. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud, that's the so-called UFO, overshadowed them, and behold, a voice out of the cloud, out of the so-called UFO, and it was the voice of the Most High, which said, this, meaning Yahawashi, this. Because when you read verse 1, and after 6 days, Yahawashi taketh Peter, James, and John, which these three were the heads of the body of the disciples, all right, his brother, and bringeth them up into a high mountain apart, all right, which James and John and Peter, they were on the highest level. When you read about the sons of Zebedee, those are James and John, all right. Verse 5, while he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice out of the cloud, which said, this is my beloved Son, talking about Yahawashi, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. That was the Most High speaking. Let's jump back. This is the book of 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 14. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. Who was that talking about? Yahawashi. All right. Which Solomon is Yahawashi. If he committed iniquity, now did not Solomon commit iniquity? Iniquity is wickedness. Did he not commit iniquity by way of worshiping other gods, the gods of his concubines? Did he not commit iniquity? Was that not an example of wickedness? Yes. All right. If he committed iniquity, which Solomon did, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. Now, did that happen to King Solomon? No. King Solomon got old and he died in peace. This didn't happen to King Solomon. He was never chastised with the rod of men, neither with the stripes of men. That happened to Yahawashi. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 53. Isaiah chapter 53. And verse Isaiah 53. Remember, if he committed iniquity, right? Isaiah 53 and verse 5. But he, talking about Yahawashi, was wounded. And even when you read this out of the 1611 edition, it says YAHAWASHI's, or really it says Christ, but we know that means anointed, all right? The anointed, all right? Who was the anointed of the Lord? YAHAWASHI. YAHAWASHI's passion, which is all the pain and suffering that he went through, all right? When he had to get whipped, scourged, beaten, and even put on the cross, all right? So let's continue where we left off. Verse 5. But he was wounded for our transgressions, talking about YAHAWASHI. He was bruised for our iniquities. Did not John Apostle, Slacky, that was Satan. Did not John the Baptist say, Behold the Lamb of the Most High, which taketh away the sins of the world, when he saw YAHAWASHI? What do you do with the lamb? You sacrifice it. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes, with whose stripes? YAHAWASHI's stripes, we are healed. You see, YAHAWASHI, he got literally whipped for our sakes. All right? So that proves that what? YAHAWASHI was King Solomon. Now let's grab some more proof. Let's go to the book of Hebrews. Because remember, it spoke about if he commit iniquity, right? Which Solomon did, but he didn't. He was never struck with the rod of men, neither with the whips of men. That never happened to King Solomon, but that happened to YAHAWASHI. Let's go to the book of Hebrews, the 9th chapter. In verse, let's see, is that what I want? No, Salaki, Hebrews the 7th chapter, Hebrews 7 and 24. But this man, talking about YAHAWASHI, because he continueth ever, talking about YAHAWASHI, hath an unchangeable priesthood, wherefore he is able also to save them to the uttermost that come unto the Most High by him, because you have to go through YAHAWASHI, seeing he ever liveth to make intercession for them, for the nation of Israel. For such an high priest became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than the heavens, talking about YAHAWASHI, who needeth not daily, as those high priests, to offer up sacrifices, first for his own sins. YAHAWASHI never sinned. All right? But if YAHAWASHI had never sinned, wouldn't that make him perfect? If he never sinned, wouldn't that make him perfect? Now, when YAHAWASHI came as himself, no, he did not sin. But when he came on the scene as Solomon, he did sin. That's why YAHAWASHI said, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but the Father. You see? But if YAHAWASHI never sinned, he would have been perfect, right? He sinned as in his past life. Not only when he came on the scene as Solomon, but also when he came on the scene as Adam. All right? It says, who needed not daily as those high priests to offer up sacrifices, it's like a sacrifice, first for his own sins. YAHAWASHI sinned when he came on the scene as Adam and when he was on the scene as Solomon. And then for the peoples, which is the rest of the people, the nation of Israel, rather. So YAHAWASHI covered not only his own sins, but also the sins of the nation of Israel also. For this he, talking about YAHAWASHI, did once when he offered up himself. Behold, the Lamb of the Most High, which taketh away the sins of the world. You see? So YAHAWASHI, he sinned when he was on the scene as Adam and when he was on the scene as Solomon. All right? And when did he pay for those sins? When he came on the scene as himself. You see? So Solomon did iniquity, but he wasn't chastised with the rod of men. But when he came on the scene later through the reincarnation, as himself, as YAHAWASHI, that's when he was stricken. All right? Matthew, and we know that the Most High is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Scripture says, shall he say and not make it good? The Most High said if Solomon did iniquity, that he was going to pay for it. He was going to get stricken with the rod of men. That didn't happen to Solomon. But that happened to YAHAWASHI, which is Solomon, which came on the scene later on through something called reincarnation. The same spirit came back, but in a different body, which was born of Mary and Joseph's union. All right? Now, that proves what? Reincarnation. Matthew 8 and verse 11. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. So that means Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are all going to be in the kingdom of heaven. How is that going to be possible? Through something called reincarnation. All right? So all praises, honors, and glories be unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, QADASH, double honors to my elders, my apostles, and Great Milestone, that doing thee well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect, the unelected, one third. With that being said, Shalom. RAWCHAA. Shalom.